Maybe many people know that the Prophet of Allah Yusuf alayhi salam was buried in the Nile River. Then it was rescued by another Prophet of Allah Musa alayhi salam. The question may arise in the mind, why Prophet Yusuf was buried in the Nile, what was the reason behind it? Dear friends, in today's video, why Hazrat Yousuf alayhi salam was buried in the Nile. I am going to learn about the subject in the video is going to be very good. So I request everyone, watch the video till the end. When Allah made Hazrat Yousuf alayhi salam the beloved of all the people of Egypt, he was loved by all the people of Egypt, because of his appearance and extraordinary qualities. Even Akhenaten, the king of Egypt, would not do anything without asking him. Once there was a terrible famine in Egypt. At that time there was no food grain in any of the neighboring countries. But Allah, through Yusuf alayhi salam, saved Egypt from this terrible event. People used to come to Egypt from far and wide to bring food grains. Once the brothers of Yusuf, peace be upon him, who threw Yusuf into the well, also came to Egypt. When Yusuf, peace be upon him, learned about this, that his brothers had arrived, he thought of bringing his family to Egypt. He told his brothers, "Put this Punjabi on my father's eyes, then he will regain his sight. Then bring father and mother to Egypt." When Yusuf's father, Hazrat Yaʿqūb, came to know about this, then he moved to Egypt with the love of his son. On the other hand, Yusuf alayhi salam was the most beloved person in Egypt. So all the king's subjects stood with soldiers to welcome them. Because Yusuf's parents say. Yusuf alayhi salam's father saw his son from afar and asked, "Whose army is this?" His sons replied, "This army belongs to your son." Then Prophet Yaʿqūb continued to thank Allah. Then Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam was revealed and said, "O Prophet of God Yaʿqūb, look how much God has honored your son." And today the father saw the son's union, the angels of the sky came down to earth. Then Yaʿqūb alayhi salam and Yusuf alayhi salam together, started crying in front of everyone. Because they met after 40 years. Then Yusuf, peace be upon him, placed his father in his seat in grandeur. Seeing his faith and dignity, the king of Egypt placed the crown of his head, at the feet of Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, and accepted the religion of Allah. And Yusuf, peace be upon him, accepted his father as a prophet of Allah. And the children of Israel began to dwell with the inhabitants of Egypt. Yusuf alayhi salam expanded a city at this time, which was named Kaushan. Time passes, about 24 years after this incident, when Yusuf's father, Yaʿqūb Nabi, was on death row, his last wish was to be buried next to his father. After he died, Yusuf alayhi salam was buried next to Hazrat Ibrāhīm alayhi salam and Hazrat Isḥāq alayhi salam, as per his father's last wish, and returned to rule Egypt. Every person in Egypt, from children to old people, considered Prophet Yusuf as the mercy of Allah Ta'ala. When Yusuf alayhi salam died, everyone wanted his grave to be blessed, and it was built in their neighborhood. So that the mercy and blessings of Allah be upon them. Finally it was decided that the body of Yusuf alayhi salam would be buried in a coffin in the middle of the Nile. So that the Nile water touches his blessed body, that water reaches all the houses. May the mercy of Allah be showered upon all through him. Then the body of Yusuf alayhi salam blessed, according to that decision, was buried in the river Nile. Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam said before his death, "I heard from Hazrat Gabriel alayhi salam that a time will come when my family will migrate from here to another place. Then you will take my grave with you, according to my last wish. And be buried next to my father, grandfather, and great-grandfather." Thus the days passed and time began to change. Then the new king of Egypt started inhuman torture on Bani Israel. Then Allah Rabbul Alamin inspired Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, after several hundred years to end that torture. When Musa, peace be upon him, destroyed Pharaoh's regime, and was leaving Egypt with his people, Gabriel, peace be upon him, was revealed, and said, "Fulfill the wishes of Yusuf, peace be upon him, by the command of Allah." Yusuf, peace be upon him, said before he died, "When my community migrates from here, take my body with it and bury it next to the grave of my father and grandfather." Then Musa, peace be upon him, asked his companions, "Who are you? Who knows where the grave of Yusuf alayhi salam? Where was he buried?" Then an old woman said, "I know where Yusuf's grave is." Then the old woman took Musa, peace be upon him, to the banks of the Nile. And it was then that Yusuf alayhis salam's coffin-filled body was brought out of the Nile and reached Palestine with them. After almost 400 years, Hazrat Yousuf alayhis salam's wish was fulfilled. He was buried next to his father, grandfather and great-grandfather. Dear friends, so far in today's video, to get our next important video, subscribe the channel and turn on the bell button.